Savage is a low-budget Bigfoot movie that had some good ideas, but in the end, it just kind of blends in with the rest. It all starts out with firefighters trying to contain a forest fire. I like this idea. Obviously, they're setting it up so Bigfoot, along with the other animals, are losing ground, and they need to relocate for safety and food. I'm cool with that. It's a good way to explain why Bigfoot is being seen all of a sudden. So far, so good. Bigfoot attacks the firefighters and leaves no one to tell the tale. I guess Bigfoot doesn't care if you're trying to help with the fire situation. If he sees you, he's gonna kill you. Next, we meet Owen and his wife Ellen. Owen is a park ranger and moved from the big city life to get an easy park job. He's called in to investigate the missing firefighters. While he's doing that, we meet Richard and Gabriella. They're thieves running from the law and trying to lay low for a little while. They just robbed a convenience store, and Gabriella shot and killed the clerk. So not only are they wanted for robbery and murder, but also poaching too, because why not? Elsewhere in the park, we have Dale and Jack. Jack takes people out into the woods to hunt for Bigfoot. He's mostly a con artist, but he has had an encounter with the beast before. Dale is a researcher who sold everything he had for this trip. Owen reports his findings about the firefighters to his boss, Hudson, who doesn't really seem to care. Hudson's more focused on building Hunter's Heaven, a luxury resort where hunters can come from all over the world to hunt in the park. Frustrated by this, Owen heads back out to check on the fire and look for poachers. Out in the woods, Owen finds Gabriella and Richard. They're pretty uneasy with him being there and questioning them, but they're able to keep their cool, and Owen leaves them alone. But he's suspicious. Jack and Dale find some evidence, things like hair, some poop, but they also find one of the firefighters up in a tree. Instead of calling the cops, they keep on hunting the creature. Richard is out in the woods poaching for bears or something, but he gets more than he bargained for when Bigfoot attacks him. Gabby's downstream washing her face in her husband's blood. Gross. She runs, finds him dead, and gets chased by the creature. We finally get a pretty good look at Bigfoot. He looks okay. Kinda skinny for my taste, but he's really fast. Gabby runs up to Jack, and they stare each other down for a minute. But there are bigger issues here, so the three of them decide to settle down and camp there for the night. And at night, around the campfire, Jack tells his Bigfoot encounter. Really, it's nothing special. He was out camping with his dad, Bigfoot grabbed and killed his father, Jack got a good look at the creature, and ever since then, he's been trying to get his revenge. The next morning, Gabriella wakes up handcuffed. Owen found her and is taking her in. He found their car and learned about their past. The others wake up and are surprised to learn that they just spent the night with a murderer. And on top of that, Jack admits that he was scamming Dale. He planted the fur and the poop. But now, things have gotten too real for him, and he just wants to get out of it. Owen takes Gabby in, but while driving, Bigfoot runs past them and hits the truck, forcing Owen to swerve off the road and hit a tree. Bigfoot attacks the truck, but he's scared away by Jack. Bigfoot then attacks Jack and Dale, but they don't stand a chance. At least Dale got his evidence. Gabriella and Owen make it to his house, and he's able to get one of her hands out of the cuffs. But then, Bigfoot attacks. The three of them run up to the attic, but they can't hide from the beast. He reaches in through a window, and in a heroic move, Owen breaks a gas line and tells them to escape, and he'll blow himself up and Bigfoot. But it's Gabriella who saves the day, handcuffing herself to the monster, lighting a lighter, and killing both of them. While everyone is cleaning up the mess, it dawns on Owen. Hudson started the fire to make room for his Hunter's Heaven. So all this is his fault. If he wouldn't have started the fire, Bigfoot would have been left alone. And in the end, Owen gives Hudson a piece of his mind. But apparently, it didn't work, because the next year, Hunter Heaven opens up, and there are more Bigfoot waiting in the woods. And that was Savage. Like I said, it's a pretty average Bigfoot movie. They tried to throw in some twists and turns, but in the end, it was pretty mediocre. There's a little too much going on with all those different characters, and it's constantly jumping back and forth. I did like the setting, and like I said earlier, the idea of a forest fire affecting Bigfoot is a good idea, but it falls apart pretty quickly. The acting was bad, the music wasn't great, and Bigfoot, although it looked okay, it isn't what I would consider a Bigfoot. The way it jumped and ran, it was more like a werewolf or a dogman. Savage isn't for everybody, but if you like corny Sci-Fi Channel movies, you might enjoy this. I give Savage 1.5 skinny Bigfoots out of 4.
Lord of the Rings was considered fiction until archaeologists in Indonesia found evidence of a prehistoric hobbit-like mammal. Tolkien was right.